extra professional today. Continuing the trend of professionalism.
You can't see it, but we're in suits.
I'm hoping you can hear that we're in suits.
The rustle.
Welcome back to... I'm going to ask you again. Are we keeping Super Podcast Bros?
We're in too deep now. I think this is episode 6 or 7, so we got to just roll with it.
Welcome back to Super Podcast Bros then. So we are going to do a continuation of our previous episode, Fixing the MCU. So as a quick recap, we basically came to the conclusion that they need to scrap everything and really focus on the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man.
Yes.
Funnily enough, don't know if you saw the news last week, a couple of days after we recorded our pod, about all the stuff they cancelled.
No, you told me about it, but I decided not to look into it so I can have an authentic response.
Right. I like that. Okay, so they have... I'll be honest, it was the obvious fix, so I'm not even going to claim anyone's stolen our ID this time.
Okay.
They have just scrapped so much.
Good stuff or bad stuff?
I'd say it's bad, but I think I'd say it's bad because the previous stuff has been bad.
Right, but it could be good if done right.
So this is confirmed to be cancelled. Eternals 2.
Ah,
I know.
that's a sad start.
For you. For us.
The two Eternals fans on the planet.
We love our Eternals, but they are really just Kevin Feige's X-Men, aren't they? That's the reason why they're getting cancelled.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a place for them. But you know what? Sorry, carry on.
It is. A-Force, not happening. Armor Wars, not happening.
Fair.
Pretty much all of their TV shows, except for Moon Knight Season 2, are getting cancelled.
What, Miss Marvel?
Yeah, Miss Marvel's not going to be coming back to TV.
Hawkeye?
Nope.
So...
It's all their TV shows except Moon Knight, and I think What If's going to carry on as well.
Oh, what?
That is what it is. Also, they are going to be cancelling their special presentations. Yeah. However, I think there's a place for them still. But that's just me. Other than that, I don't really care about any of the stuff they've cancelled there. I don't know about you.
Is that it?
Those are the confirmed cancelled things.
Right.
Now, there is some stuff that it's rumoured that they would have cancelled if they hadn't already filmed it. So they're not going down the Warner Brothers route of filming a movie and then tax writing it off.
Okay.
So actually, apparently they wanted Deadpool to come out later. If at all. So Deadpool obviously is coming out this year. Apparently they would have, had it not already been filmed, put it out at a different time. The same with Ironheart. I didn't realise Ironheart had even gone through production.
Me neither.
Still no word on Blade. What they are pushing forward with, though, is the Midnight Suns, which I'm reasonably excited
Don't care.
Really?
Not interested.
Okay.
Doctor Strange is boring.
Yeah, that's kind of why I want to see him with more interesting people.
Okay.
The Thunderbolts is continuing. We're trying to be professional, bro.
Sorry, I dropped the Vaseline. And nothing else happened.
Except this microphone's not too strong.
Yeah.
Captain America 4 is continuing to be pushed on.
But it's not called New World Order anymore.
That's
no?
why I've called it Captain America 4.
Okay.
It's always called.
Yeah.
Agatha, whatever that is going to be called, is continuing. Apparently, there are rumours that actually that's going to be crucial to a lot of stuff, so that's why they're pushing on with it. Moon Knight Season 2, like I said, they're looking towards Young Avengers that you mentioned to me last week.
Yep.
And Fantastic Four, X-Men, etc. There's no set dates on those yet, but they are going forward with them.
Right.
But Secret Wars is still set to be released in 2027.
Okay.
I think that's going to be pushed back. I don't know about you.
Well, according to my timeline, it should be pushed back. Not ready for that yet. But I think they've kind of set the stage, as I said, with the end of the Marvels.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I hate that timeline. There's no proposed timeline. There's just movies you've named.
But yeah, but also if they're aiming towards Secret Wars 2027 and 2028,
yeah,
that is essentially 3 years to get their house in order because there's no movies coming out this year.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's no setup. We're supposed to be having a major event this year and next year.
Yeah.
Yet we're supposed to be having another one after that. So my timeline.
Let's go.
My plans.
Let's just
Sorry.
get straight into it. So, if you had it your way,
Yep.
how are you releasing the movies that you're proposing
Right.
over the next 10 years or so?
Kang is going to be dealt with in his own way, right?
Okay.
I think to wrap this up, obviously he has ties to Reed Richards somehow. We're going to make that some sort of timey-wimey thing, and then they're able to somehow go back and deal with like the original version of Kang. No, that's kind of derivative though of Endgame. Anyway, Kang doesn't need to be a big event. I want this to be tied up in someone's solo movie, someone who's important.
Really?
Yeah, and if you do it with the Fantastic Four, that means Kang can be white. You can just change it to a different actor. Yeah?
Yeah, because they can be anyone.
Exactly. So just leave it at that. He's a descendant or a ancestor of Reed Richards, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You can sprinkle stuff in there, like Apocalypse has got its technology. There's other stuff going on in the future, like for later down the line. But yeah, that's a Fantastic Four movie. But I want to start sort of Deadpool. I don't know what's going to happen in that. I'm going to pretend like that's not going to happen, or has happened and it's got no consequences. Right? It's its own thing. Maybe Deadpool somehow ends up in this universe. I couldn't care less, to be honest. I think he kind of works fun
Wherever.
Yeah. So straight off the bat, I wanted to do Miss Marvel season 2, right?
Okay.
And so you didn't see the first season, no?
Yeah, did you?
Oh, you did. So I want it to be a similar sort of thing. She's looking to recruit some more Young Avengers.
Okay. So she's the Nick Fury of the Young Avengers.
Yeah, but what she doesn't realise is that there's another group of shady people, not government, group of shady people following her and intervening. So there'll be little skirmishes and we get to see whoever she's recruiting, their abilities on display, and them guys together.
Yeah.
And then essentially she'll fight big bad guy, don't know who it's going to be, some Young Avengers villain, right?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't matter, because it's about the setup. So I want this series to end with her the corporation is the Wessex Corporation. She gets kidnapped by Mr. Sinister.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and everyone thinks she's a mutant. They find out she's not a mutant. She's an Inhuman.
Are you bringing Inhumans in?
I am. X-Force swoops in, rescues her at the end of the series, take her away. That's it. End of the...
So sorry, this is your introduction to the X-Men then?
Yes.
All right.
So they come in, and so she's gone. We don't know where. Next movie, right? We take a step back. It's a prequel. Blue Marvel.
Okay.
We're in the 60s. Because while I want a congruent story, Marvel works when people have little breaks from this. So a bit like how Captain Marvel came in, it was a prequel, but it gave us some context.
Yeah.
Blue Marvel. But Blue Marvel was in the 60s.
Okay.
As are the X-Men. They're both operating in public. Okay. The X-Men show their face, big anti-mutant, yada yada yada. Blue Marvel obviously doesn't. Eventually, the Silver Surfer comes to Earth.
Yeah.
Right. Also, the Fantastic Four are here. So this is a popular time.
Sorry, for the last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You sound like a kid who's been asked to write a story.
Yeah.
He said, X-Men, also Silver Surfer, also Optimus Prime, and I also think there should be some mermaids.
Yeah, He-Man comes in. No, so but the X-Men aren't a key part of the story. They're just there. It's almost like a different world, right? And we don't know why. So this movie ends. Blue Marvel is the first person to discover the negative zone. What's going to happen is, from the aesthetics from that Fantastic Four teaser, I'm surmising that it's a retro thing.
Retro, yeah.
So after the events of that movie, the Fantastic Four become trapped in the negative zone.
Yeah.
They've defeated Silver Surfer. Say he's had an epiphany. He goes off and soul searching around the galaxy. Blue Marvel's identity gets revealed. Mm-hmm. And then, like the comics, JFK says, we have to pretend you died. So he goes to Professor X, wipes him from the collective memory. He also asks for the Fantastic Four too, so people don't think that.
Anything happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's almost like they were never there.
Okay.
And so we kind of jump back, and then I said, isn't these ones aren't really important. Like maybe a Defenders series revamp. You got your Shang-Chi, maybe like I don't know, other characters. I like the original Defenders cast, but some more. Obviously, Iron Fist is rumoured to be coming into the next Shang-Chi movie anyway.
Okay.
So I think if that's going to go ahead, let that all roll in together. And then I'm thinking another palette cleanse. I'm not sure what it will be, but just a nice break from something, a different change of pace, because this main story is going to be quite serious.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, maybe what I would imagine is probably, if this was to start right now, we're talking about early 2026 now.
Yeah.
A young event.
Secret Wars time. That's the right time, man.
So I would say then an Avengers movie. Either this is where it gets wrapped up with Kang.
Okay.
So I say, so that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
And then we have an established Avengers team that are operating. And then we get on to the next movie. Now, this is where it all gets a little bit tasty, right? So this all culminates. We'll end in Secret Wars somehow. We'll get there. But this next movie, the Captain Marvel movie. So Captain Marvel is searching for Miss Marvel. Doesn't know what's happened. Her family, maybe, have bailed her.
Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot she's missing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she tracks down Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
We'll say like the X-Force killed her because it's the X-Force.
Okay.
But Mr. Sinister, he's always got away. So she finds him again, and he reveals the existence of Inhumans. He explains like there's a race of people who aren't, they're human and Kree, right? And then Captain Marvel finds out that she technically is an Inhuman, which is why she was able to take on that Kree technology and become Captain Marvel, right?
Okay.
So she's going around and basically. This is also mixed up within that scroll plot, and so she finds the Inhumans. But firstly, Blue Marvel reveals himself to her, plot reasons. They go and they find the Inhumans, and basically she learns more about Inhumans in general, and then Blue Marvel kind of talks about the existence of the X-Men.
I want a montage of her reading books and going,
well, I like...
stroking her beard.
I didn't like the show, but I think the castings were kind of good in Inhumans. So I'd like to just keep that same cast, maybe widen it out a bit.
Oh, actually, that's what I want to see. I want to see Captain Marvel sit down and study the Inhumans by watching the Inhumans TV show.
We'll say there's a fight. Something is threatening... the Inhumans. The villain is kind of inconsequential here because what they discover is that the Terrigen Mist can actually force Skrulls to revert back into their base form.
Alright.
Right?
Okay.
And so Captain Marvel and the Inhumans plan to release the Terrigen Mist over Earth. To force all the Skrulls to reveal themselves. And we'll say Super Skrull is the recurring villain throughout this, right?
Oh my lord.
A different Super Skrull, yeah?
Yeah.
But Blue Marvel, remember, who is the only person out in the world who knows the X-Men, knows that the Terrigen Mist is going to kill them, right?
Yeah.
And so he's forced to reveal the existence of the X-Men.
Cool.
They have a fight.
Who has a fight?
Blue Marvel and Captain Marvel. Yeah?
Cool.
Gets tasty. We'll say they find a way of resolving it. Maybe Professor X reveals himself with some of the X-Men. They call it quits. And then they say, well, listen, I've got telepathic powers. I can literally locate these Skrulls. We'll do it a different way. And so we then go back. We have an X-Men series, which gives us plenty of time with the main characters who are in the 60s. Yada, yada, yada. Blue Marvel ties in with racial themes at the time, but also stuff to do with prejudice and hatred now. They decide to follow suit with Blue Marvel and retreat to Krakoa, which we find out is actually within the same region as Blue Marvel's underwater base, right? Okay. So Blue Marvel's with the X-Men, helping them with the technological advancements, which is why we have a team in the 60s who are going to be the same age.
Because they're doing the Krakoan regeneration.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. So then there's that. So I want this culminating in, with this X-Men line of storytelling, is that eventually the Inhumans are realizing we need the Terrigen Mist because we need Inhumans to be safe, and because that is because of the X-Men's decision to reveal themselves. So X-Force have been operating this whole time covertly. Yeah. The X-Men have revealed themselves mutants, and so it's kind of stirred in the collective consciousness again. Yeah. And so we have these people, no matter who they are, with these same sentiments that the comic public had in the 60s. And so mutants are being hunted, but because people can't tell the difference between Inhumans, who are a different race, and mutants who just have a different gene, they're being collectively persecuted. So the Inhumans want to reveal all the Inhumans and move them to Atalan.
Yeah.
And the X-Men are saying, we're going to keep rescuing these mutants and move them to Krakoa.
Yeah.
But obviously, for the Inhumans to reveal that, they need to use the Terrigen Mist. So
you're doing Inhumans versus
X-Men.
Okay, cool.
That's my event for this phase, right? It doesn't involve anything multiversal, and the Avengers characters can carry on developing their stories in other narratives.
Yeah.
But I want this building towards Avengers versus X-Men. So now the Inhumans, they're doing their thing on the moon, and the X-Men, they're operating in the world, and the world knows who they are. And like I said to you last week, it works in reverse. So instead of being in the public and going private, they started private, and they go into the public, and you don't need to transfer them universes.
Yeah. I've gone down the same sort of route there as well.
Yeah. So that's my main line of storytelling. I think once this gets resolved, Kamala kind of goes back to her and thinks she's not interested in either thing, and we get a Young Avengers series, and it's teen themed and it's light-hearted.
Less heavy.
Yeah, exactly. We don't
for everyone, for the whole family.
Yeah, we're not dealing with racism or like ethnic cleansing. Like this is
angsty Kevin and sweet little Jimmy both get their Marvel movies.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can roll in all these young characters that people want to see, and then you can keep doing side stories because the focus is on X-Men and Inhumans.
Yeah.
Bring in other future Avengers characters. Chuck in a Spider-Man movie, although.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I would like Spider-Man actually for a bit with the Defenders.
Right, so I was smiling through certain sections of that because you're clearly the person that leaked my Superman scripts to James Gunn. We've had a bit of a collective thought here.
Yeah. I think we touched on a lot of this last week as well.
We did. It's funny, some of the specifics are pretty similar as well.
For real?
Yeah,
Did you have Spider-Man with the Defenders?
At one point, yeah. I had like a New York kind of Avengers story. But,
yeah.
I'll be honest, I just hate the Inhumans.
Fair. They're not that interesting unless
You've made them more interesting
I
here.
I feel like they only work if you're doing them alongside other things.
Yeah, because I didn't really care for Avengers versus X-Men, Inhumans versus X-Men in the comics. I think you've done a better job of it.
Okay.
I think it probably will be better in movies where you can kind of tie it with different things in. And other characters kind of cause the conflict.
Yeah.
So kind of forced in the comic. I don't know. The comic was that really interesting to me.
No.
And yeah, that then also creates that sort of conflict means that they have to. You kind of see deeper into the characters of certain X-Men, certain Inhumans.
Yeah,
that'd be quite good.
The main thing I want from this is that everyone is sort of right, and it's not a matter of this person's right until they do something crazy.
They're right. It's just, who are we going to prioritize? Do we have to prioritize anyone? Yeah. Okay. I like it. I do really like that.
And I think the end goal for me is, like I said, the Inhumans are just on Atalan. Yeah. That's their thing.
Yeah.
But the X-Men are stuck in the world. There's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah, this is it.
And it might be a bit cheesy to do two versus things, but if there was an Avengers versus X-Men scenario. But anyway, the big team-up event I wanted where everyone kind of comes together and works together is the return of Antimatter Man, the guy who Blue Marvel is Nemesis from the comics.
I actually don't know.
So, like, his thing is obviously to do with antimatter.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where he goes missing, but basically his whole thing is that he's a white guy, but he's Blue Marvel's best friend. And he hates racism so much that he's trying to forcibly, like, eradicate racist and change the world. But Blue Marvel's like, that's not the way to do it.
So every guy from Shoreditch is just taking it a little bit too far.
Yeah, you give him a fisherman beanie and a denim.
Not from Shoreditch.
Sorry, who moved to Shoreditch. Yeah. So yeah, I think I want that team up event to be eventually in the end game of that phase, and I want him to have been missing. We'll choke it down to a conflict at some point, either with maybe with Blue Marvel, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four prior to the events of the Blue Marvel movie, and perhaps he's been caught either in the negative zone as well, or in between universes.
Yeah.
And so in the lead up to Secret Wars, he's been able to escape this almost pocket universe or pocket dimension, and he's the only one of him in the multiverse, something like that. And so it's a big threat. No one can ignore. All hands on deck. Massive event.
Yeah.
Prelude to, and the events of maybe what he does finally weakens the walls between universes. First incursion, phase 5 or 6.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like a lot of that. To be fair, I've gone about my planning slightly differently.
Okay.
And my release schedule is very different. But I'm with it with you there, actually. Right. Should we go over mine and then we'll go like what we can nick from one another?
Yep.
Because I feel like there's some characters there you've not used yet that I think you could use.
I tried not to go into the specifics about what other characters to give solo movies to. I kind of like the idea of 1 to 2 series a year, nothing more.
Yeah.
One in the first half, maybe February, the other in October. And then you do the movies around those instead of a movie comes out the day this finishes.
Little May in October and then Little Silent.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm with that. I've only planned my first movie.
Okay. But you've done your releases around that.
I've done my releases around that, and hopefully the first movie kind of sets up certain things. Actually, I just realised I'm lying. I've put a little bit of detail in some other movies as well.
Okay.
My first release is going to be X-Men.
Oh, okay.
My first release is going to be X-Men. Let's say this is 2026. The first release is X-Men. 2025 is another break. And then we're going in hard, 2-3 movies a year, or 2-3 projects a year.
Okay. Yep.
Right. And I stuck with the spec that we spoke about last week, but being Krakoa, with it being, well, I'll get into it. Okay. So basically, context is all the mutants are on Krakoa. All the mutants are already there. They're already operating on Krakoa. Professor X has wiped the mind of the global consciousness of the memories of mutants, much like yours, much like we saw about last week. But yeah, we're still sticking kind of close to that kind of House X storyline. So I think the first movie should kind of be, again, the X-Men, in almost the entire X-Men team is essentially X-Force at this moment in time.
Yep.
They're working in under the shadows covertly, and they're just retrieving different like mutants, protect them, perhaps bring them back to Krakoa if they want to, etc., etc. And they're doing that consistently, and they've been doing that for decades. But I liked your idea actually of Professor X and Magneto are still aging, so they're still tied to that almost 1940s, 1930s origin. And this does mean that both their powers are fading. So that's gonna be the plot of the movie.
Oh, like we said, his mental powers are weakening. His
mental powers are weakening or they're fluctuating. A little bit like Logan, he's kind of losing control of them just with his age. So on one mission, like the debilitation, is that the word? Of Professor X kind of comes into fruition, and essentially the discovery of mutants is re-remembered.
Okay.
Much like yours, people who were around for mutants back when Professor X kind of wiped their memories were like, oh yeah, they exist, and almost go back into like an old racist with dementia.
Yeah. Sees a black nurse,
and then Nigerian nurse comes in, and all of a sudden they remember what certain words mean. But then there's like, but then also the rest of the globe that weren't around for it feel violated by this because they didn't see the original context. They weren't around to see what things were like, so they didn't see why it was necessary for Professor X to do what he did.
Right.
They don't empathise with that point of view, so they feel violated and therefore realise also the power that mutants can have, and so they almost go in that direction as well of having that discrimination against mutants. So the big bad of this movie, Mr. Sinister.
Nice.
So the X-Men are almost battling with Mr. Sinister to get as many mutants as possible. They realise that someone else is aware of mutants, and it's a mutant that they're not aware of and finding it hard to track because Professor X isn't using Cerebro to its full potential. And yeah, whilst they're battling Mr. Sinister, they're also battling with the fact that they're now dealing with discrimination that they've only been told about, that they've been protected from for such a long time.
Oh.
So they've never. These are going to be X-Men that are the age in the movie. They've not used the powers of Krakoa yet to do any regeneration.
Okay.
The idea is that Professor X and Magneto are aware of what Krakoa can do, but they're reluctant to actually use it because, from their perspective, people come back, but they don't come back whole. So I've kind of flipped it a little bit.
I like that.
So we're gonna do Archangel.
Okay.
We're gonna do the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Dope.
Without Apocalypse. This is the build up to Apocalypse.
Okay.
So Mr. Sinister's getting people ready for Apocalypse. So the X-Men have lost their anonymity.
Mm-hmm.
They're dealing with discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
They're losing their leader.
Mm-hmm.
They've just lost Archangel.
Let him cook.
All right. So they're really struggling right now.
Mm-hmm.
The four horsemen of the apocalypse. The four horsemen infiltrate Krakoa. They critically injure Professor X as they infiltrate it because they're looking for something that will help them bring Apocalypse back to life.
Mm.
Okay. At that point, Magneto takes it upon himself as like, I can't lose Professor X. I'm disagreeing with him at the moment of what we need to do. I disagreed with him back then about what he did do about wiping the minds of people, the memories of people, and I'm now arguing with him again about what's happened since we've been rediscovered. That's still my best friend. I'm gonna go into this. I'm gonna go into one of the eggs with him, and he basically saves Professor X's life, and also puts his own life, as he perceives it, in jeopardy to ensure that actually, if Professor X dies in one of these eggs or comes back wrong, so will he. So yeah, that's gonna be that's the gist of the movie. Obviously, they deal with the big bad. Archangel is obviously traumatized through what he's gone through. Mr. Sinister's dealt with, but one of the horsemen survive, and then they start the process of bringing Apocalypse back to life.
Do you know who your horsemen are going to be?
No, I haven't worked that one out yet. I think it's important that they lose one character.
Yeah.
So we're hopefully going in quite hard, quite deep straight away.
Yeah.
And it sets up three things. So it sets up the fact that Apocalypse is on his way. Sets up the fact that humans are now going to be mobilising against the mutants. And then it will also set up the fact that Magneto is conspiring against Professor X. He realises as much as he loves him, they're never going to agree on this, but he knows his way is the right way. Professor X knows his way is the right way. And so hopefully that sets up kind of the phase and the storyline for the rest of the next 10 years or whatever. Or 8 years after this. Right, so we've got X-Men to start off with. I do think it's important to have things going on the not on the side, but going on alongside that X-Men storyline.
Absolutely.
I think X-Men should be the core of what's happening, but Spider-Man's a crucial character. Fantastic Four are going to be box office as well. So those are the three I think the Marvel should come back with. Hit hard, quick. Home runs, 3 in a row.
I don't know if you felt like including this in any of yours, but I always thought it would be an interesting angle if some of the heroes who aren't inhuman or mutants or have superpowers, or just do have superpowers from other means, did have weird views around mutants.
I think I would have if this wasn't within the MCU. I think all of these guys have already been set up as SJW keyboard warriors already.
But I think it
would be interesting.
I think that's what make it more interesting.
It would be, yeah. It definitely would. I just hadn't thought of it because they haven't been set up this way.
Yeah.
It would make sense though if they feel like their mind had been violated. It would be very much like Bucky Barnes to be like, "Oh, I hate mutants."
Yeah.
I guess he was around for them at one point, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, Hulk would be like, "Well, I get it." He'd kind of empathise quite quickly.
But you could even retcon stuff like, the mutants hate Bucky Barnes because Bucky Barnes doesn't remember, but he was killing mutants all around the Soviet Union.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So those would be my first three.
Yeah.
I like that idea though of like it kind of sets up what I want to get to as well at the very, very end. Gives a bit of Young Avengers.
Yep.
Gives a bit of... I like the Midnight Suns. I like the idea of what could happen. Think about the cast that's already in there, right? Oscar Isaac, Mahershala Ali, Benedict Cumberbatch. I think that could be a good movie. Potentially could be a good movie.
Let me not speak. Is Deadpool in your Midnight Suns?
No.
Good. Because he's in too many teams. I don't like that.
Yeah. Shang-Chi 2. I can't believe Shang-Chi's not been spoke about at all.
Yeah, man.
It's been the best movie since... maybe not the best movie, but it's been one of the most interesting and exciting movies since Endgame's come out. So I don't know why no one's using that.
Yeah.
So I've kept Thunderbolts because I went from the perspective of they're saying they're going to release it, so I guess we have to. That Thunderbolts looks so boring to me. It's just loads of Bucky Barnes and Ghost. If I had it my way, I'd scrap it, but it'll be there somewhere.
I think they're going to be... I thought the idea was for them to fight the Young Avengers, to be honest.
Yeah, that could make sense. But I think they're fighting Sentry.
That's so much... That's not a fight, though. That's Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby. Like...
I could easily win a debate against 5,000 Dead Baby.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Sentry in that movie. Apparently, rumours.
I hate that.
And then I'm going in with... I wasn't sure about Black Panther 3. I think I could be swayed on that, depending on what you say. But what I do want to do is I do want to finish off Kang properly. So I'm going to do Avengers Kang Dynasty, and that's going to be where we actually re-establish who the Avengers are and kind of what's happening.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that movie's going to be about. Is like, which one of us is going to take ownership of this? Doctor Strange is in another dimension. Captain America is flying now.
Yeah.
Who's this Spider-Man kid? Like, it's not going to be... There's no Nick Fury to bring it all together again. They almost kind of cobble what's left. A couple of the Young Avengers might be in there.
Where's your Nick Fury, then?
I don't know.
Just not there.
I just don't care anymore. I think I've just tried to wipe Secret Invasion from my mind, so I'm going to do it that way as well.
Sorry, it's just because he's really prominent in the Marvels, is the thing, which is why I ask.
So why doesn't he talk about the Skrulls at any point?
Why don't any of them?
So yeah, I think Kang Dynasty would be like that's it, right? So after Kang Dynasty, I thought we could make use of the TV shows a little bit better. I liked the special presentations, so I'm going to flip it to the special presentations become like 20-minute origin stories for the X-Men.
Oh, just X-Men or just any different?
Mainly X-Men.
Yeah,
mainly the X-Men.
But I think that's an amazing idea, because then you don't have to dedicate time in the movie. It's just, this is that dude. He has this origin. He does this. Yeah,
you don't have to watch it. You can if you want.
Do you know what I mean? Like I guess like a dramatized version of like a variant comics video. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and like that was Fox's idea back in 2010. Do you remember?
Oh, with the Origins movies.
After Wolverine, they were going to do like a Storm and Magneto and Cyclops. So it doesn't need to be a movie.
No.
I don't need to watch 20 minutes of 2 hours of Gambit. 20 minutes is fine.
Do you want the best origin movie is in any of those X-Men movies?
Go on.
When they go to Pyro's house and they meet his parents.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Sorry,
Iceman's
house. Yeah.
It's 15 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't have
tells the story.
It doesn't have to be a fight.
No.
That's
what I'm on.
Fantastic idea.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thanks, man. So I went a bit ahead and I thought, if I could give a couple of them a little origin story now, who would I be most interested to see? I'd like to see a little Gambit, not even just the origin story, but just a story.
Yeah.
To tell us a little bit about them. So a little Gambit.
Yep.
A little Nightcrawler. Archangel, dealing with the fact they're Archangel now.
Nice.
Cyclops. Magneto. Marrow.
You've lost me.
Mystique. And it doesn't, like I said, doesn't need to be an origin story. It could be them at any point. Just a story, 20-minute story to give us a bit more of an insight to who they are, because we're not going to have time to do it in an X-Men group story. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought whilst that's going on, when we're getting ready for X-Men 2, where we start talking about, I lost it. I can't remember which way around I did it. It was either Apocalypse or Sentinels. I think it was Apocalypse at number 2.
Okay. Early doors?
Early doors, because I want to get to Sentinels last.
Okay.
Fantastic Four 2. Doctor Doom is introduced now.
Dope, yeah.
Spider-Man, is this 5 or 6 at this point? Lord knows.
4.
No, I've done Spider-Man first. This is my second.
Oh,
Spider-Man.
right. So 5.
5. Yeah. I don't know, man. Just do a Spider-Man. Spider-Man stories are fun. Can't really go wrong with them.
Yeah.
X-Force.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimates. I was going to introduce Blue Marvel in that movie.
Yep.
And then, Defenders and Friends. That's what I was going to call it. So those 4, you could get rid of Iron Fist if you want to. Chuck a little Spider-Man in there. Chuck a little Shang-Chi in there. Something like that. You know.
My question is, does Shang-Chi have the 10 rings? Because then is he too powerful for the rest of them then if he has
maybe.
that?
Yeah, but also Spider-Man is like way more powerful than the rest of those 2 as well.
I think for me,
those 3 as well. So
with the Defenders, and I think with any good superhero team, everyone should be able to beat the other. Not necessarily in a strength thing.
No, yeah.
But Daredevil can beat Spider-Man.
Kind of.
No, in theoretically, you can see a way in which he could, but 9 out of 10 times,
Yeah. Plot armor.
Yeah, or Luke Cage, or Spider-Man can defeat Luke Cage.
Yeah, that's quite easy to imagine.
Yeah, but like it all goes around because you don't want anyone dragging weight if you're dealing with street level or like normal villains like that.
I hear you. I was thinking more Kingpin, and Kingpin does like a Sinister Six type of thing.
He's doing a lot of mileage, Kingpin.
Well, not in my thing.
Okay.
He's gonna be nice and quiet for him.
I don't know how much he's in Echo, to be fair.
The Defenders would be Daredevil's movie for me.
A movie, is it?
The Defenders would be a movie, and it would be Daredevil's movie, but he's bringing in the other New York heroes around it because they've had their time. And I wanted to, like I spoke about last week, I want to see more smaller group meetups. That would be it for me. I forgot to mention in Fantastic Four 2, Doctor Doom doesn't necessarily lose.
Nice.
Because we're doing instead of Secret Wars, it was gonna be more of a. It's the Avengers versus Doctor Doom basically.
What if by some way, shape, or form the final battle takes place in Liberia, and maybe the Fantastic Four think they've got the upper hand, and the people turn on them?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
shows the power of like charisma that he has there, and the fact that actually things aren't black and white.
Yeah, and
but yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Doctor Doom full strength fighting several heroes.
Mm-hmm.
That leads us into X-Men 3. Let's see if we can do. We'll do a Sentinels movie. Not Days of Future Past or anything like that, but like just straight up Sentinels, and like a little bit of an aspect of God Loves Man Kills. So
they're still based on Krakoa here?
Yeah. So I'd say in X-Men 2, Krakoa is incapacitated essentially. We find out that the regeneration pods aren't as good as they seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
But Apocalypse, as well as like the Sentinels coming in, basically just decimates the Krakoa, and it's almost unusable. So we get back into actually going to the school of gifted and talented.
Yeah.
Especially as Magneto and
not to yuck
Professor X kind of separate.
Not trying to tread on your toes.
Please do.
But what if Krakoa is attacked?
Yeah.
Not necessarily put out of action. Maybe it can't move and it doesn't have its own defenses.
No.
And maybe the mutants are injured or something's happened. Maybe a few of them are dead. And then you kick off that third movie with like a Genosha level incident where they don't know the Sentinels are coming.
Yeah.
They're unprepared. However many of them die.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That sort of thing with the Sentinels, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a big introduction to them. And then that also leads into the extra. That's the real rift. They're arguing, like Magneto and Professor X are arguing in X-Men 2. But they have a common enemy. In X-Men 3, common enemy, separate methods to try and deal with them. And that's where it really comes in, where Magneto's having to relive the Holocaust. Professor X is trying his best to keep everything together, even when people are turning against him. Maybe Cyclops is starting to give some weird looking ideas and some weird behaviours.
Yeah.
And this is where the whole the political aspects of X-Men really, really comes into play. And that's why it's going to be impossible for there to be a functioning Krakoa at the end of X-Men 3.
Yeah.
So we might as well just get rid of it and go back to the School of Gifted and Talented, because Magneto and Professor X now can't be together.
Yeah. One question for you, because I like this. Who's sending the Sentinels in your story?
It was just going to be like a government, like...
The US government?
The US government. Like, even United Nations. Even just make it, like, this is so global, we'll never be able to escape it. It wasn't going to be like a shield, a sword, anything like that.
Yeah.
But the final movie in my little phase was going to be Avengers vs. X-Men, and there is going to be... like, Professor X at the end of this is like, I need to take a break, I'm just going to focus on the school. X-Men can function however they like. With Cyclops leading them, and actually Cyclops taking on a bit more of what Magneto was saying than Professor X quite first realised. There's going to be a lot of resentment at the fact that the Avengers didn't step in.
I love that, because the Avengers are like, they're obviously the heroes, but when you look at how little oftentimes they do,
they don't step in for the real issues.
Yeah.
So Avengers vs. X-Men, who ain't trying to see that? Weird comic. I'm not going to do the whole Phoenix thing and...
Oh, no.
Nah.
I really like the comic, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I think a lot of things happen for the sake of happening. Like, why was Magic the one to get some of the Phoenix Force? You know what I mean?
That was a weird one. Yeah.
And then it was like... Actually, probably a little bit like the movies now I think about it. We need to make these guys really bad so that we justify the fact that they're the bad guys, even though they're doing probably the right thing.
Were they that bad?
Well, exactly. Exactly. So, I was kind of on Cyclops' side until he cutted his old mentor, so, yeah.
But that was an accident, to be fair. And also, he wasn't actually dead? What happened there?
I can't really remember what happened after.
Yeah.
He died, but I can't quite remember how they resolved it after. I think they just rebooted it, because they went out of circulation for ages, didn't they?
I'd love to see Legion come into play at some point.
Well,
not sure how, because it's a good TV show if you've watched it.
I've casted a lot of X-Men.
Oh, have you? Okay.
A lot of X-Men.
Okay, sorry. So I'm going to let you cook. So this is your casting
actually,
now?
no, Legion's not one of them. So I've cast Moira McTaggart, and Legion's not her son. It's Frederick's son. But Moira McTaggart had a son who's nuts. What was his name? What's that character's name? That's going to do my head in. Oh, I can't remember. Never mind.
There's a couple weird ones, like whoever that is, and like Cassandra Nova and stuff.
Yeah, there's loads of weird... there's a lot of weird X-Men villains. So yeah, I also had far too much time on my hands last week.
Okay.
And I guess we had a few extra days because we're not recording this pod on the usual day. I've cast pretty much every X-Men you can think of, bar 3.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you now, after I said Tom Hanks last week, I don't agree with that anymore.
Okay. I didn't want to say too much about it, but
Jeremy Irons is too old. I think for the first movie, we'd have to put old makeup on young actors or younger actors. Okay? I also stuck to your spec. Now, you were very clear.
I was.
You need the X-Men, and the X stands for sexy.
Yes. Sex-Men.
You need sexy actors.
Yeah.
So I've tried my best to be, sexually fluid as much as possible. And
it's not about that. I mean, game can recognise game, do you know what I mean? So
I'm not great at that usually.
Okay.
I tried my best.
Alright, you hit me with it.
Everyone here is sexy.
Yeah.
I promise.
They got to sell tickets, man.
But also, I don't think they need to. It's the X-Men. But some of these will sell tickets.
Yeah, because Dark Phoenix was full of some attractive people, and they didn't sell tickets.
No, it did not sell. Yeah, but they burnt fingers by that point.
Yeah.
Name an X-Man. I'll tell you who I got.
Okay. This one, because there was some interesting calls last week. Wolverine.
Okay, so Wolverine's one of the 3 that I'm too scared to cast, and I want to cast with you.
Okay. So yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah.
All right.
So
So I'll tell you now. I've got no Professor X.
Oh, that was my next one.
I've got no Magneto.
Okay.
And I've got no Wolverine.
Okay.
And in my mind, also, Wolverine ain't gonna be in these movies till X-Force.
Okay, so you just want him like on a strike team.
Like I said, Wolverine's had enough attention,
Yeah.
and you can't match Hugh Jackman.
I think X-Force is... Because what is it? Is it the son? Is they Apocalypse's son? That's it. That they did do like a reboot in the mid-2010s, and the first one is they go to like, I think it's Mr. Sinister's lair or something, and they find like a young version of Apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of when the rebirth of Apocalypse.
Okay.
That sort of vibe I was thinking.
Yeah, dude, I love that team. Okay. So Cyclops.
Glenn Powell. I stuck with Glenn Powell. What are you thinking about that? Sexy enough?
Oh, Glenn Powell. Yeah. For the life of me, even though we discussed it last week, I was thinking of Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
You're crazy.
So I was like, that's why I kind of just looked at you. Okay.
So I've gone Glenn Powell. Bit of Top Gun.
Yep.
No, he's got the jaw.
Yep.
Because that's what you're going to see.
Yep.
You're only going to see his jaw. Happy with that?
Okay. Yeah, I think he can work sunglasses. So.
Cool.
Yep.
Give me another one.
Jean Grey.
Olivia Cook. House of Dragons.
Oh.
I haven't actually checked their age, but I think they're around the same age.
I think she's a bit younger, but they look the same age.
Yeah.
And she kind of has red hair in House of... Yeah. That's a fantastic choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Like I said, I had time.
Yeah.
Time, bro. So we got Olivia Cook, Jean Grey.
Iceman.
Got my list. Right. I couldn't find anyone gay. I know you really wanted someone bi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's bi, but he looked... Sorry. Okay, he looked kind of... The picture I saw, I was a bit like, oh, maybe he's bi.
Okay.
But I didn't actually have any proof.
Okay.
Do you remember Blackish?
Yep.
Junior from Blackish? Marcus Schreiber?
Okay. Race swapping?
Half race swapping.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think he's got
cool.
He's got youthful energy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him grown up so much. I know he was the main character from Grownish from like season 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually have no idea about his private life, but I think that's more to like the appeal of it. But if we're just talking about if we feel like they could play the role well, I think I think so. Yeah.
I preferred my Stephen Young shout, but I know you hated it.
He's older than Glenn Powell.
I didn't realise he's 40. Yeah. I need that skincare routine, bro.
I think it's just because he's aging. Like they just age really gracefully.
Do age good. Give me another one.
Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde. Do you know Catelyn Denver from
Why do I know the name?
The main character in Booksmart. Yeah, her.
Okay.
In my mind, Kitty Pryde's a tiny bit younger than the main team. I don't know why, but Kitty Pryde's always seen as like the baby of the group.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Kitty Pryde is Jewish.
Okay.
Is Catelyn Denver Jewish?
I don't know. One of them is. One of the people in Booksmart is Jonah Hill's little sister.
Yeah, it's not her.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Cool.
Was Ian McKellen Jewish?
If he's a thespian, I actually the fact that they're married, I still do not know. She's 27.
Is she?
But she looks so young.
Looks good.
She, bit of info for you. She's going to be in The Last of Us season 2. She plays an absolutely sten character.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if she's going to have that sort of petite figure that you're imagining that she does have, because I think she's going to have to bulk up loads.
Okay.
I think in the same vein, I think someone who looks exactly the same is Rachel Sennett from Bottoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you know she's Jewish, so.
I do not know.
Oh, right, sorry. You said it like you had this one ready. But yeah, cool.
No, she is Italian, Irish, and raised Catholic. So, but to be fair,
she's meant to be Jewish, you know. But I see that though. I see that as well. I see that works.
To be fair, there's an easy fix to this. Is Kitty Pryde Jewish? She's an Ashkenazi Jewish American character, and her grandfather was also in a concentration camp. So I feel like that might be of importance.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. Give me another one. Come on, bro. You only have 3 years.
I don't want to think too far out of the box. It'd be annoying. Colossus? Have you done Colossus?
I've done Colossus. I went with, forgive me, I'm going to butcher his name, Florian Montaigne?
I'm just going to say this is
Ivan Drago from Creed 2.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. Gosh. Who am I? Beast?
I stuck with Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
/ Zachary Quinto. I can't pick between those two. I was really happy with those two picks.
I think Zachary Quinto was a
You're
really good
Quinto
one.
with that one?
Yeah. So have you done some of the Brotherhood as well? Like, have you done Pyro, Mystique?
I haven't done Pyro, but I've done Mystique.
Now this has got to be a heavy hitter, Chug.
This is a heavy hitter.
Okay, who are we talking?
Alexa Demi, my babes. Come on, I know you see it. I just want to make sure you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, from now. Euphoria.
Alexa Demi from Euphoria.
Yeah, I think the looks is one thing, but I think with Mystique it's got to be like I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like an understated sort of like.
So credit to Alexa Demi, she's more than Euphoria. Like I've seen her, she can act. I've seen her in Waves. I've seen her in a few things,
and no one knows her exact age as well, which is my favorite thing about her.
Her age, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, she could be 40. She could be 25.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Who else? Reel off the rest of me because I don't want to.
So we haven't done Storm yet.
Oh.
Now, so with Storm, you're gonna have to get your YouTube out for your Google out for this one.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So you know who Taylor Russell is, right? You recognise who Taylor Russell is. I think Taylor Russell is the actor's choice. So I think she's the best actor.
Oh, she's in stuff.
She's in loads of stuff. Waves. She's in. I like this room. I like this movie called Escape Room. I think it's quite a good movie. I don't know why.
Is that the one with Karen from Daredevil?
Maybe.
Where they're in a series of traps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember her being
is she in that?
Yeah,
Well,
she's
may have
the
made
main
that.
character in that. Yeah.
Is she dating Timothy Chalamet? Oh, Bones and All. That's what she's in.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I think I genuinely think she's a great actress, and I think she's the next big, like, not thespian. I think she's American, but yeah, I think she'd be class.
And Harry Styles is ready to start a family with her. So little Marvel crossover.
But you said you wanted someone East African.
Yes.
So I went Yaha Shahidi.
Okay. Yeah.
She's obviously not East African born and raised, but she is of that lineage.
Is she?
Her name's Shahidi, fella.
Her dad is called Afshin Shahidi. But I think that's because... Oh, it looks like he's Middle Eastern and her mum is...
Her mum's like Ethiopian or so.
Dad's from Iran and mum is from... known as Chocolate Mummy Love.
What? Chocolate Mummy Love.
African American and Choctaw.
I don't know, bro. I saw Shahidi and I thought she's got to be from the from the Horn of Africa.
Is Choctaw, is that a Native American tribe?
I have no idea, bro. I have no idea.
Sorry, we're getting too deep into this, yeah.
I've got one more as well that might be the middle ground. So, at first I was thinking... to me, Storm's meant to be tall.
Okay, yep.
I have no idea how tall this person is, but they look tall. They've got the model physique, I guess.
Okay.
So Kiki Lane. Have a look at Kiki Lane. So this is from a movie I like called If Beale Street Could Talk.
I love that movie.
It's Kiki with that, yeah.
Oh.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
I can. That hair as well. I can picture that white or grey.
And she can do any hairstyle. Like Storm has a million hairstyles.
Yeah. She's in the old guard as well. Yeah. I like that for
you
me.
Think that's the one, the middle ground?
I'm completely happy with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, we haven't done Angel. I've gone back to House of Dragon.
This has got to be a real pretty boy. I'm warning you right now.
He's not blonde, but I've gone with Fabian Frankel.
Oh!
Who was the...
What's
his character in House of Dragon? Is he sexy enough for you, is he?
Yes, yeah. I think we were bang on the money there. I can't remember what his name is, but I know, he's obsessed with Rhaenyra.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I've got another Mr. Sinister.
Sorry, I just want to rewind.
Yeah?
That is an excellent choice.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
I've got Mr. Sinister, another House of Dragon alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was in The Witcher, I think.
Okay.
Ewan Mitchell, Google that.
This got to be a really tall English dude.
Well, I don't know if he's that tall. But I've gone with a slightly different take on Mr. Sinister. I'm not going with the bulking.
He does look like a mad scientist, doesn't he?
Right. And so remember how, like, actually sinister he was in House of Dragon.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want that vibe from Mr. I don't think he needs to be the bulking maniac like he traditionally was.
Okay.
I want him to be almost like a serpent.
This is a Victorian dude as well,
Yeah.
so he does look it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've gone with. That's my Nathaniel Essex.
Yeah. Okay.
Rogue, Kiki Palmer.
Oh yes.
We're just gonna stick with that one. I think if 100 people say you look ill, you should lie down. 100 people have said Kiki Palmer should be Rogue. Kiki Palmer is my Rogue.
Bro, did you see when she went as Rogue for Halloween? It looked right.
It looked right.
Yeah.
It looked right. She's not even the right race, and it still looks right.
I just think if you're Southern, charming,
it works.
Yeah.
Are you ready for an A-lister now?
Either her or Hayden Panettiere. That's what I want to chuck in there. But, sorry. But yeah, carry on.
We've got an A-lister now.
Yep.
This is going to be... And this... You might not like this, because this isn't an X-Man that usually gets a lot of limelight. But this actor... I think they'll enjoy it. My Nightcrawler is Timothy Chalamet. A nice little weedy boy. Some people fancy him. I don't see it. Some people fancy Nightcrawler.
Do you want to put him behind all that makeup?
I don't see it. You ain't got to put him behind that much makeup. Just make him blue.
Okay.
That's all you need, blue. You can even keep the hair if he wants.
I like that. And you're talking angsty teenage Nightcrawler.
Yeah. I was more thinking
28-year-old man, but yeah.
So Timothy Chalamet is my Nightcrawler.
Yep.
I did Moira McTaggart because I was getting bored. And I rewatched Nice Guys the other day.
Okay.
Andrew Rice, who's the daughter in that, who's now not that young.
Bro.
No?
She's in Spider-Man movies.
Is she?
Yeah, she's Betty... Not Brant. Is it Brant? Who's the one that's not Hulk's girlfriend?
Betty Brant, but he's not even in the Daily Planet, Daily Bugle yet.
Yeah, but she's on the news team. She's dating Ned in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh. I've not really watched Far From Home, if I remember that. Okay, she's out.
Sorry.
Boo.
I liked, was it Rachel, whatever? Australian lady? Who never gets to be Australian.
Don't know me.
From X-Men First Class, that Moira McTaggart. I think that's a good age because.
Rachel not McAdam. Rosie.
Yeah, I know.
Rosie McEwen. Rose McEwen. Bad Neighbours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, I liked her as well.
But I guess you don't want to carry stuff over from.
No. I've done a William Stryker.
Nice.
Scott Eastwood.
Young.
Military man. Yeah.
I think the X-Men have to be sexy, but the villains don't have to be
sexy. Yeah, because I was a bit like, there's no way anyone who served in the Vietnam War is still... actually, now I think about it, Joe Biden is president, but I was going to say no one who served in the Vietnam War is still like high up in the American government.
So is this his son, or are you just doing a new origin?
It's because I thought it was important that William Stryker was one of the humans that actually remembered hating mutants back in the day.
Nice.
So maybe now I'm thinking a new origin for him could have been that one of the X-Men missions went wrong, and that included one of his family members, but he forgot about it until the memory wipe was reversed. Or yeah,
his dad remembers, right? For whatever reason. And
for plot reasons.
Yeah, maybe he got blown in the head in the Vietnam or Korean War or whatever.
Yeah.
And he told his son all about it, and his son's this QAnon guy. Instead of being like this big cultist, he's got this, there's internet subsections. Why is he
still talking about this?
Yeah, and he's like, oh no, this is evidence, or like this is proof that they exist, or is this a sighting of so and so?
Yeah.
And like you've got hate groups of people, and they don't know who they're hating yet. And then as soon as they get revealed, they're like, yeah, we've known about this. Like we've got the infrastructure ready to like just attack these people on all fronts. Yeah.
Okay, I hear that as well. That's pretty good. I've got 2 Marrows.
Mad amount of PR for Marrow right now.
Anna Sawai, who is in the Fast movies, she's the East Asian representation for the the global majority representation in Fast X.
Man, I haven't seen that one yet.
No, she's in a couple Fast movies. She's in one I've seen. I think she's in Fast
Tokyo Drift?
9?
No,
that's racist.
No, because she's Japanese. It's that one Fast and Furious movie that's in Japan.
No, she's in.
I've not seen her in.
She's not old enough to be in Tokyo Drift.
Okay, I've not seen her in any of the other ones.
Okay, my other one is Hannah Murray. Gone for a bit more of like a.
She is in Fast 9.
Hannah Murray. I think Hannah Murray's got a cuteness to her. She keeps getting cast as ugly, but I don't think she's actually ugly.
Hannah.
She's Sam Otali's wife.
Oh, okay. And girly from Skins.
Yeah, from Skins.
This is supposed to be Marrow.
Yeah. I don't know why they keep casting her as... Game of Thrones made her uglier. And I don't know why they keep casting her as weird.
No, she's a very pretty girl. Yeah.
So I think she could do Marrow. I don't think she'd be high up on your sexy rating, but clearly Marrow's not high up on any of your ratings. So.
Yeah, it's less about that. It's less about that. And also Hollywood, you know. I just mean that... I don't mean like, oh, you can't have people who someone might consider ugly, because I don't think she's ugly, and I think I'm not trying to get into that because this isn't Fresh and Fit or anything, but like, yeah. It's less so about, oh, does she look sexy? It's like, what's the aura of this person? The movies Glenn Powell was in consistently make him to be like a sexy guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you think of like I don't know, someone who's really really pretty, like a really really pretty actor or actress. And like they made like, you know, Daniel Radcliffe, lots of people, or Dev Patel, lots of people find Dev Patel attractive, but he's not in movies consistently that make him to be.
Not there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Got a couple more for you. Emma Frost, Madeline Klein. You happy with that? I thought you'd be happy with that.
No, actually, wait. That she's young people. I think Emma Frost is old people, classy. You know what I mean?
You want an English Rose almost.
Yeah, like you see like Angelina Jolie in Eternals.
Audrey Hepburn,
yeah, she's a bit past it now, I think, but like, yeah.
What did you call her? Who are you talking about, sorry?
You know Angelina Jolie in Eternals, how it's like, okay, this is a woman who's like 40, 50 something, still just like effortlessly gorgeous.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Someone said something along the lines of, they used Madeline Klein as an example actually. They said, if you showed someone from like 1712 Madeline Klein, they'd assume she's an alien because they can't even perceive of that level of beauty. Whereas if you showed them who's the girl from like Ladybug?
Saoirse Ronan.
If you showed them Saoirse Ronan, she'd be the most beautiful person they've ever seen because they get it. She looks like someone who's beautiful.
Yeah.
In like a classic beauty kind of thing.
Madeline Klein has never seen a chimney sweep.
Yeah,
you know?
And a chimney sweep would melt if they saw a Madeline Klein.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with it though.
Fair.
Because I want to see her in a movie.
She's very young though for that, don't you think?
Well, they're all young. Madeline Klein's 25.
But Emma Frost, you know, this is she.
I want Emma Frost to be the same age as Cyclops.
Okay. Madeline Klein's in her 20s, bro.
Yeah. Glenn Powell's only just in his 30s.
He's 41, you just said.
No, he's not.
I thought you said he was 40.
I was talking about Stephen.
Oh, Stephen Young, yeah. That old man.
Yeah. Okay. I inserted magma just so I could cast this person.
This has gone too far.
Sorry, it was less X-Men at this point than me trying to get as many... Again, this is for you.
Thanks, man.
This is for you. I'm trying to get as many sexy people in here as possible.
This isn't like a creep.
Shh, that's what you said.
Fair.
This is what you
I just said they had to be.
Avantika Van Danapu. You know who that is. You'll recognise her.
Oh. I don't know what I've seen her in, but she's gorgeous.
Yeah, I remember everything I've seen her in. So she's magma in my world.
Mean Girls. Oh, so she's hot stuff. She's hot property at the moment. I think she has this solo about like being hot on Halloween. I saw a clip from it.
Okay. No, I watched her in something called like Senior Prom or something like that.
Senior year.
Yeah.
Oh, with
rubbish movie. Well, kind of rubbish, but she was good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been obsessed. Then we've got then we've got Jubilee.
Yep.
Elizabeth Yu from Avatar. She's playing I forgot her name. Azula.
Azula.
In Avatar. Why am I forgetting all that? I did this the other day as well, didn't I?
That is a good Jubilee if you'll see it with short hair.
Yeah.
It's a shame because I really liked Lana Condor.
I don't know. Show me.
She's in like I think Apocalypse for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
I think she looked perfect as Jubilee.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, I do. She's
To the Words I Loved Before?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that out loud because I wasn't sure if you had also seen that movie.
I haven't seen the movie. I saw the trailer. Oh, that's okay.
So it's own goal.
And then I've got. Help me out here. I was trying my best to find an actual Cajun actor to play Gambit. Right.
Okay.
The only ones that came up was Sheila Booth and Jack Quaid. Now
Jack Quaid. You can get two people further apart from each other.
I know. So I couldn't see Jack Quaid in the role, if I'm being honest.
Not edgy enough.
I don't want to see Sheila Booth in that role.
Let's
I think
leave
that's
him
probably
out.
for safe.
Yep.
So I haven't written this down because I don't really believe it. Should we just make Jacob Elordi Gambit? See if he can do a Cajun accent.
Yeah, great Elvis, great English accent in Saltburn.
So
I find it hilarious that you put more effort into finding a Cajun actor for Gambit than you did a Jewish actor for Kitty Pryde.
I didn't know she was Jewish. I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay.
And then finally I did an X-23. Ariana Greenblatt, who was the kid
No. She's the kid in everything, Josiah.
Yeah, but we need a kid. We need a child.
She's the kid in everything.
Don't you remember what it was like with like Lindsay Lohan and like Macaulay Culkin? When there's child actors, they're everything.
Her and that little boy from the Adam Project, who is now Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
I can't escape those two. Everywhere I turn, those little children are just everywhere.
I think she's got she had the kind of fierce look in the Barbie movie a few times where I think she could do like an X-23. So
she's Ahsoka in the Obi-Wan show, right? Sorry, in the young Ahsoka.
She's young as... Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is what I mean.
She's everywhere.
Just
seen it now you said that.
But she's a great actress, so yeah.
But we should work together to think of a Professor X. Have you got any ideas? Because we can't do Tom Hanks.
It's not a black guy, and it's not a white guy. Wait, sorry. No. Sorry, it's just not a black guy.
Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, because you...
No. Sorry. Actually, Professor X, I'm not tripping over too much. I think it's interesting, especially in my world where it's in the 60s. So it would be interesting. I don't mind.
British?
It can be British. Also, if it's the 60s, it could be anyone of any ethnicity. Like, 20 years ago, Ben Kingsley probably could have done a great job. But Magneto has to be Jewish, no matter what. Professor X doesn't really matter as much.
When you say Jewish, do you mean Jewish passing? Because we've never had a Jewish Magneto.
No, I think in this climate, like not just in recent times, but just in the way movies are casted now, I think if you're gonna especially lean into that story the way you're talking about, I think it's very important to just have someone that actually is Jewish. Professor X, he is the heir to an old English estate, so it probably makes sense for him to be a white dude, but it doesn't have to be.
Right, word to Kanye. Jonah Hill, Magneto.
Jonah Hill.
Magneto.
No.
He wants that Oscar bad. I think he'd do whatever he needs to do.
The superhero movie is never going to get an Oscar. Never.
He's going to do his best. The problem is, I don't think I know Jewish actors of that age.
You really want this guy as young as the people he's leading?
No. I want him to be slightly older.
Jonah Hill is in his 40s.
I wasn't joking, by the way.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe, I've just found out, is Jewish also. So, but he's kind of too nutty.
Yeah. You need something not calculating, but measured. You need a measured voice. What else have we got on that list?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
Now that's someone who could do it.
Yeah, actually he could. When he's not singing down those steps, I think he probably could actually.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the chops. Who else we got?
Well, now it's just painfully obvious that I have Googled Jewish actors. A lot of them are either like Jake Gyllenhaal's obviously movie, Adam Sandler, no. Then it's like Seth Rogen, Harrison Ford, Woody Allen, which is obviously never going to happen.
Woody Allen as Professor X, running a school with children.
I have an idea. It may not work because of Spider-Man No Way Home. Andrew Garfield
As
Magneto.
he's Jewish.
Yeah. Think about it. Think about the range.
I'm thinking really hard, but I just can't see it. You said Joaquin Phoenix now, and
Yeah, you like that?
yeah,
You can't really beat.
I'm kind of married to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll roll with that.
And now go on then, Professor X, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Also Jewish, so double up.
Daniel, you was Jewish.
Just he was on the list, but yeah.
Again, he'd never do a superhero movie, but for 100 million.
He's retired from acting.
He's retired from acting about 10 times.
Bro, he's like 65 now. He's old. Like,
Yeah, but 65 in acting years is nothing now, isn't it?
Do you know?
Harrison Ford is 80 and he's still jumping on the back of trains.
Yeah, you want an English guy now.
Daniel Day-Lewis is whatever he needs to be.
Well, he is English anyway, but is he? Yeah, he's English.
Mate, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's that a good actor. I have no idea.
I think he is. Yeah. Hear me out.
Go on.
Ray Fiennes might be a bit old.
He's definitely a bit old, but I've seen him as a villain too many times to imagine it, but I know he can act, so I'm inclined to say yes. Yeah?
Yeah, and then you can be really funny about it, and if you make him young again, you can make his son
The young one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Joaquin Phoenix probably has a son. Is Hero Fiennes his son? Or is it his nephew?
No, I think it's his son.
No, it's not. It's his sister's son.
Oh.
Yeah. Also known as nephew.
Oh, we love a bit of nepotism.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the out there choice. I like the Ray Fiennes though. But I'm let's see if we can get Daniel Lewis out of his little cobbler hut.
He definitely lives in a manor house, doesn't he? Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, I think I read somewhere that he now likes cobbling in his spare time.
I wish rich people just stayed doing normal rich people stuff, because why are you cobbling?
Well, apparently it's something to do with one of the roles he took on where he method acted so much he actually learnt how to make shoes and then just started enjoying it. I don't know if I've had a fever dream here.
Maybe.
That's what I've heard.
On the set of Lincoln, he decided to cobble so... Okay.
Okay, so we'll go with what I'm going to go with, but I do like Ray Fiennes. I'll go with, in my world, a little Daniel Day-Lewis, Professor X, Joaquin Phoenix, Magneto. And then the big four, Glenn Powell, Cyclops, Kiki Lane as Storm, Olivia Cook as Jean Grey.
Great casting.
And then, if you really want to remember what I said for the other ones, you can rewind it. But there's a couple big names there. They're all nice and sexy.
Wolverine's still out there. We will find out.
We will find the Wolverine.
Taron Egerton, I need you to do something.
Yeah, I see that more and more now. I know he's little.
Yeah, but I just don't think could he do the voice for it is my only issue. But maybe. And a Welsh king, no less.
Do like a Welsh king. Shout out to Christian Bale.
Mm.
Queen, even. I think we call it there. We've spoken for far too long and got way too into it. We still haven't really done anything other than X-Men. Did we do a part 3?
We've done plenty of casting, but yeah,
a lot of casting.
I think we could do some more we could do some more fan casting here.
Next week we'll have a little cast off. See if we can cast Fantastic Four's cast, really, isn't it?
So the characters we have left, we need a Doctor Strange, potentially
we need a Doctor Strange.
We need not a Doctor Strange. We need perhaps some other X-Men. A Doctor Doom is who I meant.
Doctor Doom.
Perhaps the other members of the Midnight Suns. Some more members of X-Force like Phantom X.
Yeah.
Some fill-in Avengers who are going to be coming in. Your Sentries, your Blue Marvels. And maybe a recast of the Defenders as well.
Cool.
Yep.
Couple names there. That's good. And do we go for the big one? Do we try and find the Wolverine?
I think so. Yeah, I think Taron Egerton is easy, but I think we can go. We can look further. Find some actors' headshots.
We'll look further afield and inevitably end up back at Taron Egerton.
Probably, but I do like Daniel Radcliffe as well.
Till then.
See you next week.